Okay, this model kit review is of the new Top Gun Maverick F-18, and this is the Super Hornet F-18E, which is a longer version than the regular F-18 Hornet. This is a 1/48 scale model by Revell, and there are the dimensions. There are the dimensions as well, and there's some pictures of the finished model, and this is likely going to be just a reboxed version of their original F-18 Super Hornets, because the kit is pretty much the same. It's really just the decals. So over here we have lots of little parts. Let's get all of those out. So first of all here, let's have a look at our fuselage, and looks like we have some very nice details here, I can see. So this is our main landing gear bay. You can see lots of pipes and tubes. That's very nicely molded, and lots and lots of surface detail. It's very nicely done, recessed. We do have that, and like I said, this is a reboxed version. There's the mold from 2005. Anyway, it's very nicely molded. There's our nose wheel well with lots of detail, and then this is where the ladder goes. We've got the sides of our fuselage here, the air intakes. That'll also cover up our wheel wells, and the air intakes will go there. Here we have our exhausts, not very detailed, but these are closed. Some detail there for the inside of the air intake. Let's see here, this next part of the fuselage here also includes our wings, and very nice details. All recessed panel rivet lines, very cleanly molded. We've got some parts here for the vents. This is where our cockpit's going to go, and there's the other side of the air intake. And we've got engine exhausts, or exit fans there, I guess. So all pretty nicely molded. Here we have our windshield, and then we've got our head-up display, and then this is the side of our wheel well for the nose gear, and it's molded in clear because part of the wheel well is actually, or cover is actually clear, and so you just paint the other parts. Here is our canopy. Okay, let's look at these next ones here. Okay, here is our nose part of the fuselage. Lots of nice detail. This is where, looks like this is where the cockpit's going to go here. And then nose wheel there, same for the other side. Nothing on the inside. The cockpit will likely be molded separately. Here we have our wings. The tips actually, with the pylons. All some nice detail there. And this is probably so you can have them so that they're sticking up because they're on the carrier. Here's our air ducts. Here we have our tails. Nice detail there. And that's the angle molded in. And that'll go together here for our elevators. And there's the hinge that they'll rotate on. Here's the other side of our air ducts. And then this is part of our nose and fans here. Okay. Okay, here is our cockpit. Some nice detail there. And probably part of our That's pretty part of our fuselage. Doesn't look like it's part of our ejection seat. This is the back part of our cockpit. Now over here we have our wheels, and you can see that they're bulging at the bottom, so it's made for sitting on the ground, which makes sense. If you're going to have it flying, you don't have the wheels down. And here's our nose wheel. Here's the main gear, and fairly nicely molded. A few little mold lines sticking out in different places. Here's our instrument panel. That is very nicely molded. You can see the depth there. And then we've got our ejection seat. Here's the other side of the ejection seat. There's the ejection handle. And then parts for the fuselage. Here are the wheel well covers. Use some of them. So nice and details there on the inside. And then here's our nose gear. We've got some little vanes for the side. Here's our tail hook for the carrier. Parts for our that's all parts for our main gear. And then these are our little actuators here for the flaps, and then wheel well covers. Okay, last few screws here. So it looks like here we have some missiles and smaller missiles, the pylons here for them to go on, and then rockets. Here's our central fuel tank, more pylons, all just great level of detail. You can see all the recessed panel and rivet lines there. Here's the other side. So that's all of that. Let's have a look at our decals. Now these decals are very nicely printed. We've got a lot of detail here, and this is all for Captain Pete Mitchell Maverick. We've got some instrument panel stuff here, all for the inside. Lots and lots of detail. So that really is awesome. And then here are the instructions. There are the colors needed. We start off with the ejection seat, build the cockpit. Lots of decals going on there. And then start to put our fuselage parts together. And cockpit goes inside of the lower fuselage. And build our air ducts and air intakes, along with our fans and engine parts. Then we put together our air intakes on the fuselage. So then we start off, this is actually going to be for our elevator. We put our air intakes on the side of the fuselage. So then we put our fuselage together. We start to build our nose, and all those parts are going on there. That's then mounted onto the main fuselage. I don't know why they have this grey. It's a lot easier to see if it's not there, but anyway. Then we put our elevator and tail on. The arresting hook and exhausts all go on. Our wheels. And then we start to build our nose gear. And that all goes in along with our wheel well covers. Here's our main gear. And that is all mounted inside the wheel wells. Our wheel well covers. Here's the other one. And then our actuators. We've got our pylons going on there. And then weapons. So we've got a multitude of weapons. Lots of options here. And here's how to put them all together. If you wanted to have bombs. And missiles. And those pylon racks going on there. Also got our central fuel tank. And more missiles. And then all the extra fuselage parts. Here is our canopy going on there. And that's going to be the inside there. You can either have it open or closed. And then same thing with the ladder. Ladder can be up or down. And then here is our painting and decal guide. And there are lots of decals and a tremendous amount of detail. That's the side, left and right, as well as the tails. And then we've got our top and bottom. And as you can see here, just tremendous amount of detail. So it's a good cockpit. Excellent details on the surface. We've got great details on the decals as well as our wheel well, and it's a nice up-to-date model. This is a great model to build.